Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Arup and today I'll be taking up this webinar. So I hope everyone is doing good and let's start with our webinar today. So the topic of our webinar is the art of knowledge retention. Good evening everyone, good evening. And we'll also look into the 15 proven techniques that will help you in effective learning and your students also. So let's start. Before starting, let's have a look what all things we'll cover today. So first and foremost thing is that we will see why retention matters, why knowledge retention matters a lot for our students, for our learners, even for the teachers. Then the science of memory, how your brain is encoding these information, how your brain is going to store and retrieve that particular information that you are telling your learners. Then we'll also look into 15 proven techniques. Practical research-based techniques are there, which we will look into detail one by one. And lastly, we'll also help you build an entire system, a habit to keep all those techniques into your classroom, teaching. So let's move forward. First and foremost thing is why knowledge retention matters. Because we are helping students learn and understand a lot of things. So we want them to keep it in their memory for a longer period of time also. What usually happens is most of what we learn today is on within phase of learning. So there is a need to change our learning strategy, teaching strategy, and we'll look into those things. So this is just the forgetting curve. This was given by 𝐓𝐸𝐤𝐜, and he showed that the memory that you gain or the new knowledge that you receive, it decays rapidly within a span of 1 day only. So this is the particular curve based on that. It is showing that new information decays rapidly first, but if it is without reinforcement and each review is given to that, it will flatten the curve. So there are two curves in this graph. You can see one is when there is no repetition, no reinforcement, and no review. So you can see it is a very steep curve. And within a span of 5 days, you will forget the entire information, 90% of the information. But with spaced review, you can flatten the curve and you can keep a lot of things in your memory for a longer period of time. So this is just that forgetting curve. What it helps us understand is that without review and reinforcement, we will lose roughly half of our new information within a span of 24 hours of time. Yeah. So now let us understand that curve that you have seen right now. What happened was in 1885, there was a psychologist. His name was Hermann Ebbinghaus. He tested his own memory using list of meaningless syllabus. And based on that, he came up to the conclusion that 50% of the information has been forgotten or lost within a span of 1 hour. So the resulting curve was one of the most replicated findings in the psychology. Then he told us that how our memory works. It works based on several factors that can change, and based on that, your curve can also change. So those depends on your memory. First thing, the meaning of the information that you are getting. So well organized and meaningful information will decay far slower than arbitrary or disconnected information. We already know that. Based on the difficulty also, the complexity, how hard or complex the information is, we can forget it faster, or like we can keep it in the memory for a longer time. Then sleep and stress, it is also a major factor in keeping your memory, or like you can lose your memory faster. Then in repetition, whenever you are repeating or you are taking up information or reviewing it again and again, which is well-timed reviews are there, so you can keep it in a memory for a longer period of time and it will flatten your curve. So it will delay the next round of decay. So these are 4 factors that can change your forgetting curve also. So this is the conclusion of our forgetting curve, that 50% of new information can be forgotten within just 1 hour. 90% of unreinforced material can be lost within a week without any review if there is no review. And 2 to 3 times more information is retained by learners if you are using active study techniques. So we'll be looking up to those techniques also, what techniques you can take up. So the science of memory. Since we have seen that, we will also look upon how memory functions, how our brain functions, and how we learn and forget things. So it functions in 3 simple stages. We'll look into that. So every retention technique will strengthen one or the other thing in our webinar today. So these 3 most important stages are that how our brain is encoding this information, how it is going to store, and how it retrieves the information. So encoding means how a brain is entering the information and how it is transformed into a mental representation. Storing means the unreinforced material can be lost within a week without any review. So how we are going to store it, what strategy we are going to use it, we'll see that. And retrieving information means that more information is retained by learners who use active study techniques. So these are the 3 different stages, and each of our technique will be based on how we can strengthen these 3 stages. So now let us look up to our 15 proven techniques that I'm talking about, and these will be based on our 3 stages only. So these are research-based, backed methods that you can start using in your real-life situations in your classroom also. Let's start with the first one. First technique is active recall. It means that we have to reread or recall the information on our own. So testing yourself on material instead of rereading focuses your brain to reconstruct these information, and it will help you in a stronger memory. How can you do it in your daily classroom life? You can close the book and write down everything that you remember after a lesson. You can use flashcards, quiz, and then try to check your answers, what all things you remember. You can turn headings into questions and then answer with your notes. So these are just 3 simple methods that you can apply into your classroom. Let us look at active recall technique. This is just a glimpse. Again, first learn, read in the study material, try to recall in different ways that we have seen, close it, recite what you remember, then you can again check, compare against the source, how much you remember, you can compare that, you can note the gaps in your learning, you can again repeat and revisit that. Test again later, that's the entire loop. So again and again, active recall in different manner will help you in memory retention. Next technique is spaced repetition. So this is the second technique. It also helps in timing and scheduling your knowledge. So reviewing material at gradually increasing intervals fight the natural forgetting curve and moves knowledge into long-term memory. So we will be having spaced repetition again and again. How you will be applying it now into your classroom. You will be reviewing new material, plus you will also be taking up your previous knowledge or concepts after one day, 3 day, 1 week. That will be after a gap of few days. So this is spaced repetition. Using spaced repetition software, you can automate the intervals also, and you can revisit older topics even after you feel confident. That is how you will keep a check that is it in your memory or not. So we can see how spaced repetition works now. This is the technique for spaced repetition. Each review resets your clock and the gap before the next one will grow. So day 0, you are just learning the information. After day 1, you can review. Then taking a gap of 2 days, understanding new information also. And again on day 3, you can review your previous knowledge. Take a gap of 3 to 4 days again. You can learn new information in those days. Again, day 7, you can have a review. Then the gap is increasing. Now day 14 and then day 30. So intervals stretch out over time so that you will understand it is in your long-term memory or not. And this is what will help you keep any information in your memory for alive for a long term. Next is the Feynman technique. So this was given by the Feynman. He explained that a particular concept or particular information that you're going to learn, are you able to explain it in your own language or not? In a simplified manner, are you able to understand that? So he explained that explaining a concept in plain language or your own language as if you're teaching a total beginner will expose your gaps into the understanding, and it will also help you deepen your retention. So whatever information you have gained, you have to explain it entirely in your own manner. So how you'll apply it into your classroom, how you can do it with your learners, write the concept name at the top of a blank page and ask your students or learners to explain one by one. Explain it in simple words, no jargons allowed. Then find the gaps of your learners. Revisit those gaps, revisit those sources, help them understand again, and then ask them to simplify it again. Ask them to like tell it in their simple language again and again until they reach a point that okay, now they have understood it and it will be in their memory. So let us look at how Feynman technique will work. So pick a concept, choose one idea to explain. You explain it simply in a very plain language, simple manner. Then ask your students and find the gaps. Notice where the explanation is breaking down, where they are not able to understand a particular simple thing. And then focus on that gaps and simplify it again. Let them understand again. Revisit the source, re-explain so that the concept gets clear. So you can repeat this practice until it is simple enough for a beginner to follow, understand, and explain in their own manner. If you can't explain it simply, if they're not able to understand it yet, repeat the whole process again. So we are coming to our fourth technique, which is interleaving. So what it is? Interleaving, switching between related topics or problem types during one session building. It will help you build flexible like interconnectedness. Students will be able to connect one knowledge to the other part. One will be easier, one will be complex for them. So instead of rigid single track of memory, we are building solving it in a manner like we will be switching between simple, complex, and related topics. So how you will be applying it into your classroom? You will be mixing multiple related subjects or skills. Even now we have some interconnectedness of subjects. We also have certain projects based on NEP, NCF. These are because we have to give a glimpse and we have to mix two different subjects for students to understand in an interconnected manner. So again, we have to do it in the same manner. We'll be mixing multiple related subjects or skills in one sitting. We'll try to avoid blocking all practice of one type together. We are not going by rote memorization. We are not going just simply by activities only. We will be having 2-3 practices, 2-3 strategies for teaching a particular concept. Alternate problem types to sharpen pattern recognition. So just not one type of assessment or one type of problem should be catered. We have alternate options and questions for our learners to connect them in. So this is how interleaving will work. Dark green is for the topic A, yellow represents topic B, and light green represents topic C. Now what is blocked practice? We have taken topic A. For a span of entire 3 to 4 days, we are teaching that only. Then we are starting next topic, which is interconnected, but we are starting it after finishing topic A. So topic B will start now, and we are moving forward with a span of 2-3 days again, and we are completing that topic. And then we are starting topic C again in the same manner. For 3 to 4 days, we are completing that topic. So this is very sequential, but it is a blocked practice and it will feel easier in the moment. Producing a better long-term recall, will be when you are having interleave practice, where you are mixing and interconnecting your topics. So this is topic A, B, and C. We have taught it together. Then we are helping them understand the complexity of that. Since those are interconnected, we have mixed it in a sequential manner. Then again, ABC and ABC. So it will produce a better long-term interconnectedness also, and they will be able to like keep it in their memory, and they'll be able to. It will be easier for them to recall. It will be easier for them to give the explanation of the entire like three concepts together. So this is how interleaving will help you like pinpoint out in the memory of the students. Next, the fifth technique is elaborative interrogation. So what it is, what do we mean by that? Elaborative interrogation is asking certain questions like why, how, a certain fact is true, or we are giving them some brainstorming type of questioning, so that they're able to connect new information to what they already know, and they are able to build meaningful memory and interconnectedness in their own manner, understanding certain options or variations into that. So how you will be applying it into your classrooms. So after learning a fact, you can ask certain questions to yourself or to your students, that why is it true, why is it not true, how is it going to happen. You're going to also start linking new ideas to something that you already understand, and you'll also ask students, answer your own questions before checking the source. So there are certain questions they have put up, you have put up. Before looking up to the exact information, they can ask or answer their own questions. So how this technique will work out now? So there is suppose one fact, and we have to focus on elaborative interrogation technique. So for that particular fact, we'll ask certain questions like, why is the fact true? Is it true or not? Then how does it connect to a specific thing or specific knowledge? If it is not true, then what will happen? What is your agenda behind that? What is your reasoning behind that? So why, what, interconnectedness of the information. It will brainstorm them, it will help them think critically, and they will be able to answer on their own. They'll be able to think on their own, ponder upon that particular concept, and the fact or concept will be into their memory. Next is dual coding. Dual coding means duality. We have words also, we have text also, we have audios or images or flashcards. So we are pairing something. So dual coding is pairing verbal information with visuals, diagrams, sketches, videos, or you can also create mental pathways to same ideas and double your chances of recall. So we also have, like in our textbooks, in science books or social books, we can have timeline or mind maps. This is helping them recall. We are having text, verbal information in an like image form or diagram form. So how you're going to do it innovatively? You can sketch a simple diagram along with your written notes. We also make notes, short notes. We try to use a little bit of short clips, diagrams also into that. So in that manner only dual coding will work. So we have been using this technique, and many of the techniques you might be using earlier also. This will help your student to like retain the concept. Is one point is you can sketch a simple diagram. Second is convert lists and processes into quick visuals. What we do, how we convert lists and processes, we can make a flow chart, we can make a chain. So this is how quickly you can revise and learn. Then use color and symbols to encode relationships. So students have been doing it in the past also. They're using colors to represent a particular relationship. They can use a particular symbol to denote a particular type. So in the same manner, dual coding will work. Let's see how it can look into real life. There are certain words. You are interlinking it with your images. You're having diagrams, flow charts. You are color coding certain things. So it is a two memory pathway, and it will help you understand words by visualizing it. So the verbal channel and the visual channel has been encoded together into your brain. So two pathway to the same idea and double chances of remembering your information. Seventh technique is chunking. So what is chunking? Does anybody know? What do we mean by chunking? Although it's written that we are going to break large amount of information into small. So chunking means if there is a large sentence or a large number, you will be dividing it into small, breaking that information into different steps, and then trying to reduce the load. You are reducing the cognitive load. You do not have to remember the entire word or sentence or an answer directly. You'll be dividing it as per your convenience. And then any complex material will be easier to hold it in your memory. So how is it going to work? What is, yes, put related facts under one common theme, breaking long numbers or lists into small clusters, or you can build that hierarchy from ideas to details. So let us look at one of the example. Okay, like there's one long string of a number. So the number is 48291057632. It is a very big number. And this, and my voice is clear. It's just chunking again. Chunking means breaking large amount of information in small bits. We're looking at an example of chunking. Just was one number where you have it 48291. Okay, so now it will be fine. I hope. Everyone, please check your screens again. I've changed. I hope now it's fine. Is it now? Hello? Yet? Okay, I have changed it. Voice is still breaking. Okay, I'm not speaking right now. Can anyone check? Is it clear? Okay, Farina has given a thumbs up. Okay, okay, done. So we'll start again with chunking. Okay, good. Yes, so we will start chunking then. Thank you everyone for the responses. We'll start again. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, teachers, for giving me a thumbs up response. So we have seen this is an entire long string of a number that students are have to try to remember it. Now what we are going to do in chunking is we are going to break it as per our convenience. Since it is like we have divided into a number of three divisions: 482, 910, 576, and then lastly we have 32. So we are going to remember it in a group of 4. So this is how you do it with your phone numbers also. So teachers, we are giving you a link of our WhatsApp broadcast channel also. You can join that channel and you can get all the details of the upcoming webinars and everything. So we have given the link. Please join that broadcast channel also for future updates. Moving to the next technique. The next technique is mnemonic devices. So what do we mean by that? These are the memory aids that we're talking about. Acronyms, rhymes, vivid associations, they give abstract information and a memorable hook. So this will make it easier for us to learn and store and retrieve the information later. So how you're going to apply it? You can create your acronyms for ordered list of items. You can build vivid, even silly mental images for your facts and for your easier approach, and use the method of loci for long sequences. So we can see how mnemonics will work. This is a particular very easier example I have added. So we have given the names of different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. This is the entire sequence of it. So we can make our own mnemonic. Roy G. BIND. So this is one memorable name that I have created for my own convenience. It can be silly, it can be easier. Okay, I will name all the techniques once we have covered all the 15. I will show you one slide for that also, ma'am. So this is the mnemonics device where you are going to give it your entire name as per your convenience, which is easier for you to retain it in your memory. So this is the technique we usually do for our exams. So one Google name, 7 ordered facts. That's the power of mnemonics. Coming to the generation effect. So generated information that is produced process rather than simply reading it, or you are remembering it because you are generating it and you are generating answer that requires deeper mental processing, a bit better also. Yes. How to apply? So generation effect is you have to do it on your own, attempt your problems before looking at the solution, write your own summary before checking model notes, and predict your outcomes. Then compare to what happens after it. So we'll see how generation effect will work. You can see the question before the answer is shown. Attempt, take a guess, explain it, activate your deeper process. Then reveal and compare. Check your attempted answer to the real one. So this is how you are processing it on your own. Technique 10, sleep and memory consolidation. Sleep is also when your brain will consolidate your entire day's what you have learned. It will be like into your sleep also. Transferring memories from short to long storage happens in that part. Review key materials short before going to sleep. Protect 7 to 9 hours of sleep is mandatory. Schedule disturbed when not able to understand it, and avoid all night cramming. Before exam, students used to do this, they do all night cramming. We simply avoid it and take up our routine. We are going to keep it in our memory from short to long. We'll be able to store it in a better manner. So how your sleep and memory consolidation will work. Daytime learning, you are entering new information into your brain. Then evening review is required, a short recap before your bed. Then deep sleep. The brain will replay and consolidate it. And then strong memory, more stable and easier to retrieve it tomorrow, because now your brain has moved from, is my screen visible? What's happening? I don't know. It's okay. Let's try again. Nice. Okay, you have missed your sleep and memory points. So this is sleep and memory consolidation. I'll repeat. In this, you have to move in a manner from daytime learning, that you are going to give new information to daytime. Okay, technique 9 and 10 you didn't understand. We will help you again. Just a second. Okay, previous. We'll start from ninth, the generation effect, ninth and 10th again because of the network issues. Okay. So technique 9 was the generation effect. In generation effect, we are saying that the information that you are producing yourself, you are focusing on that. Whether if it is a particular question, then also take up that question, process it in your own manner, and then move forward and look up to that. So for the generation effect, we have this slide. This is how it works. You can see the question. Before any answer is shown, then you attempt the question. So this will be when you are attempting, you are activating deeper processing. Then reveal and compare. After attempting, then you check if you have attempted it correctly or not. This was about technique 9, generation effect. Yes. Technique 10 is sleep and memory consolidation. Your sleep is when your brain is going to consolidate the entire day's learning from short-term to long-term storage. So sleep is very important, and in that part only your entire day learning will be uh, it will be processed from short to long-term storage. So we have to protect our sleep. We have to avoid all-night cramming. How your sleep and memory consolidation works is, first thing is daytime learning. When new information is going to enter into your memory, you're learning it in school, in classroom, in any other manner, then evening review is required. You are just going to have a short recap and review about that. Then you move to sleeping part. When you sleep, the brain will replay and it will consolidate it from short term to long term memory subconsciously. Then all these things will help you in a stronger memory. You will able to retain it for a longer period of time. So this is a more stable and easier manner to retrieve next information for tomorrow. Yes. Technique 11. Technique 11 is the how you're going to teach other. Yes, teachers. Preparing to teach a topic when you're welcome, ma'am. So teaching others is like when you are going, you have to be prepared in your own manner. You have to be clear how you have to organize a complex like concept, how you have to help in deeper processing, when you have to ask certain questions in between. So this is the act of teaching and reinforcing the material. So you have to be prepared. So explain a concept aloud in a very expressive manner to your friends, to your students, to whatever group you are teaching. You can also record a short video lesson on the topic and answer your students' questions wisely without notes. You have to acknowledge each and every part into the classroom also. So how this method works is, you are here, you are explaining it, you are preparing the information, learner is gaining. They have certain doubts, they will be also asking certain questions. Then you again prepare it, you show the video, you show certain other activity, you do an activity into the classroom, so that it comes up that you are also acknowledging their question and you are also pre-prepared. Technique 12, mind mapping. We have a lot of mind maps in our like booklets also after we completed a chapter. So mind mapping is a visual structure where a lot of information is interlinked. There are connections. So mapping ideas and their connections visually will mirror how the brain naturally will organize the information. You're just looking at it, visualizing it, and learning it. So it is helping you make relationships and it is easier for you to recall. So how you can apply it? Start with a central idea and branch outwards. Like we are starting with a particular topic, say, and then we are branching to it. Use color, icons, short labels wherever possible. So this is plant. So we have like roots, we have shoots, what all things we have in shoots. So this is how we are going into branching also. Then redraw the map for memory to test and recall. So this is a core topic and it is branching. So this is how mind mapping will work. Idea A and sub branching can be there. Idea B, sub branching can be there. Idea C, idea D, like that. Distributed practice, spreading sessions across days or weeks. When you're distributing, this time I have to work on a particular thing, the next week I have to work on a particular part. So it will help in longer lasting memories. How you're going to apply it? You can replace your one long session with several short ones. Schedule brief daily reviews instead of weekend marathons, and you can track on your calendar also. You can keep a check on your calendar. So we'll see how distributed and mass practice looks like. Mass practice is one session, which is a very long one, and then we are not taking it up in any further weeks. Distributed is short sessions and it is spread across the week. Monday, I have maths. Tuesday, I have socials. Then again, Wednesday, I'll go for maths. So this is how, like in small sessions, I am learning and also revising my chapters. Session 14, metacognitive reflection. Think about thinking. So what it means is you have to regularly evaluate what you know and what you do not know. You have to check up your gaps and how you learn. It will you'll be looking up to that. That will help you best that to target your study time when it matters a lot. So how is it going to apply? After studying, you rate your confidence on each topic. You check if you're able to recall it, if you have learned it by heart 100% or not. Then keep a short learning journal of what you have worked upon. Adjust your methods based on your honest self-assessment. So this is how metacognitive reflection will work. First, study, work through the material, then reflect, rate your confidence 1 to 5 or in percentage if you want, that how much I have learned. Then if there is any gap, adjust to it for the next part also. Change up your strategy, target next session at the weak spots. So a quick honest confidence rating will help you understand better. Lastly is multi-sensory learning. Engage more senses. Multi-sensory. So many senses are required. So here we are trying to indulge active teaching methods where you you can have audiovisual modules, you can have interactive activities, you can have role plays. So sight, sound, movement, touch, all the things are required during your learning time. So this will create multi-memory pathways and make information more resistant to forgetting. So what you can do, how you can apply it, it is you can say new information loud while writing it down. You can use physical movements, you can have role plays, you can have activities and gestures while memorizing. Then you can combine listening, reading, and hands-on practice. Again, we are doing this into the schools also in classroom teachings. So how multisensory will work? There is a particular concept. We are understanding it through videos. We are understanding it through audios. We are also learning it on our own. We are having touch and we are having movement also involved. So these are all 15 techniques at a glance. Teachers who are asking me to repeat all these techniques, this is the entire you can slide, you can see for all the 15 techniques that we have. See, first was active recall. We have to recall it actively. Second is spaced repetition after 1 or 2 days, then weeks. Then we have the Finman technique, explaining it in our own words, in simple words. Interleaving, interconnectedness. Elaborative, interrogation. Dual coding with text. One more thing is required. Chunking, breaking the information. Mnemonic devices. Then we also had generation effect, sleep and memory, which is very important. We have to take up our entire sleep schedule. We have to maintain that. Teaching others, we have to be prepared. Mind mapping, we have to create a mind map. Then distributed practice, metacognitive reflections, our own reflections, and multisensory learning, where a lot of different techniques and senses are required. Yes, all the techniques are easy, Ms. Deepti, and you might be using some of the techniques already. We might have already used some of the techniques. These are very easy, but we know that if we keep it in our mind that okay, we have to work in this manner, it will help target memory retention of you and your learners also. So moving forward, how we have to build a system and how we have to put all these things into our habit. So techniques only work when they become a repeatable habit, not just a one-time trick. So you also have to move into that manner itself. So this is just a sample study week that is created. This is just an example. You have to create your own sample study weeks. You have to take up different techniques as per your topics, as per your student space, as per your convenience. So obviously, you do not need all the 15 techniques at once in a particular week. It is based on how you can combine for your particular concept. So Monday is the day to learn new materials. You can have dual coding. You can take up text with some other visuals. You can do chunking and you can learn the material. Tuesday, since recalling is very important, so we are going to have a active recall session the next time. So closed book self-testing on Monday's material that will be done on Tuesday. Wednesday, interleave and elaborate. This is the technique. We are going to mix another topic and we are also going to ask certain questions why a particular thing is correct, why not, like this. Thursday, you can teach it back, joining both the topics. Explain the weak topics to someone else. Friday is spaced review time now with recall test on materials from trial week. And Sunday you can reflect and also plan as a educator, as a teacher. You can plan out the next week sessions again. So metacognitive checks and planning for the next week. So this is the 30 days action plan also. Week 1, start simple. You can start simple on the basis of your level. You can pick any 3 techniques. These can be active recall, spaced repetition, or the Finman technique, and you can use them daily so that it will be into your habit. Then in week 2, you're trying to build a system because we are going to shift have a shift, we have to make it a habit. So set up spaced repetition schedules and block short daily review sessions. You can have daily review sessions also, or weekly. Then week 3, add depth, layer in interleaving, add more more topics, add more complexity into your teaching, elaboration and teaching others to deepen and connect your knowledge. Then week 4, reflect and refine. Review what's your working, adjust to that schedule, check up if there are certain gaps in teaching, and based on that, you can reflect and refine yourself. So, based on these 15 techniques, I would like to ask all the teachers to write into the chat box which technique they were like knowing about before this webinar and they have been using into the classroom, or which technique you have used subconsciously into the classroom in this previous week. You can write down your answers in the chat box and I'll be reading out some of the answers. Mind mapping, yes. Okay, distribution technique. Mind mapping, chunking. Chunking is very nice technique. Dual coding, nomic devices. Okay, multisensory, a very good technique. Pinman, Alina ma'am has used that. Spaced repetition. Okay, already PT ma'am is using spaced repetition. Quite a good technique for memory retention for your students. Active recall, mind mapping. Okay. Chunking. Right. Multisensory learning also. So elaborative interrogation and interleaving, where mixing two different information which are interlinked will also help you try it out and like whatever things you feel are good for your learners, you can move with that. So we have already seen this 30 days action plan also. We are done with it. Any questions from anyone? We have a WhatsApp channel. We have given you the link for that. Please join that channel for all the future updates. You will get all the information regarding our latest products, our upcoming webinars, important announcements. So follow this channel and we are going to end the session now. I hope it was fruitful for you all. Please repeat technique 3 and 4. Okay. Just a second. Technique 3 was the Finman technique, where you are just explaining concept in your own plain, simple language. So this was the Finman technique. Pick a concept, explain it simply, and find the gaps, and simplify it again. And technique 4 was interleaving, switching between related topics or problems. So this is how interleaving will work. Do not take up one topic, finish it up, then start another topic. If they are interlinked, you can like interleave, have an interleave practice. Topic A, B, C, mixing it up. This will help you produce a better and long-term recall.